Gregory?
Oh, Mama!
Out with it! What did you do with my souls?
Please forgive me, Mama. The truth is...
You did what? You let the guests get a hold of my souls?
Please forgive me. I was only away for a minute.
Enough of your excuses. Stop dallying and get them back.
Yeah, you screeching old banshee.
What was that?
Nothing, Mama. I'll get those souls back right away.
Oh, look at them, Gregory, my beautiful souls. The secret of my beauty. We mustn't let them get away, mustn't we, Gregory?
It's hard work trying to keep Mama happy every day. It's the guest's fault that I get yelled at every day. Even so, Mama will have herself a new victim soon enough.
I'll send you back in time!
Oh boy!
Time is
money!
I'll save you just this once, okay? Just this once!
So we now find ourselves on the 4th night in Gregory's horror hotel, with a mere 3 souls left to fulfill our promise to death, with a couple of new speed bumps on the way, namely, we continue to draw the ire and attention of Gregory's mom, and most importantly, we were only introduced to 2 new guests. And considering that we still have a quotient of 3 souls to go, that does leave in question where we are going to be getting that final soul. For now, though, we are going to be skipping our usual modus operandi of going to Gregory for information, and instead, I have something of a different plan in mind. First, though, going to be also going against the norm here and stocking up on an item to capture our future soul, and that's this speed up here. Not entirely necessary, but it will be helpful, as you will be seeing. You also might notice from the map that there was somebody in Neko Zombie's room, and that's going to be our first source of information. And our first real introduction to one of the new guests, Angel Dog. Now, even though the dog here has a very angelic appearance, it's still very, very much a malevolent soul. And also one very prone to gossip, which allows us to get this useful information regarding the Soul Rafter, and the fact that, well, the father and son duo of Clockmaster and my son has a very unique fault, in that the Clockmaster really, really loves his son, and the son in turn really, really adores the gift of a screwdriver that the father gave him. Now, this is all going to be very important, and believe it or not, pretty much gives us all the information we might need in getting the soul, though, you know, it never hurts to get a little bit more information, especially from Catherine here, who we don't see all that often. Also, I was initially a bit confused here and thinking that maybe Catherine had a son in her backstory, but no, it's just the name of the character. Makes it a bit difficult to figure out in context of the text here. Yeah, she's just pretty much pantomiming the conversation between Clockmaster and my son. And as was already mentioned, the aforementioned my son is working on a clock, and you might recall there was a grandfather clock over in the storeroom. So that seems as good a place as any to make our next destination. Also, I'm going to be checking my map very frequently throughout this update because at this point there are, I guess, 10 very pissed off people patrolling the hotel at any particular time, and I always want to be concerned with doors opening nearby. But here we see my son working very, very hard on his clock there. We also see our target just swarming around him, though, yeah, it's not going to be quite that easy to steal candy from this baby. Believe it or not, though, the Clockmaster and my son are, in actuality, fairly friendly NPCs. They are not going to run away from us, and they'll actually have pleasant chatter with us. And in fact, we learn from my son here that he's apparently wishing to take over the family business and make his father proud and learn how to find time warps as his dad does.
Sweet! Sweet!
Kind of makes you wonder why these particular guests even have these souls. Maybe sometimes the souls just get latched onto, non-malevolent entities. Still, though, we don't want to talk to him too much because bad things will happen. He will kind of think that we are trying to steal his soul and call in reinforcements from his dad, who, considering the only unknown entity left on our map is upstairs in the bar, that's more than likely where the Clockmaster is going to be. And on our journeys up to the bar, we stumble across the angel dog with its momentary, lapse of not gossiping about. Instead, I suppose, kissing the daisies out in the garden. It's not really ever explained. The angel dog just likes to have a small nighttime sabbatical amongst the roses. In the end, though, this might seem kind of pointless, but it does allow us, just future reference, that during this particular point in the night, if we happen to steal Angel Dog's soul, it's probably not going to be a viable option of going through the courtyard unless we want to get chased after. So it seems like the less crowded way of getting to the bar is going to be going for the second floor hallway here. Also, still a bit unsure of who is in that golden hotel room, though I was able to figure out that room 207 there is occupied by the Hell Chef. Also still getting thrown off by doors opening and closing, but I think that was down on the ground floor. And as we peek into the bar here, it appears that the Clockmaster has had a little bit too much to drink. It's gone a little bit over in the backstory if you talk to Gregory or overhear a few conversations, but it seems that the Clockmaster might be a little overworked with his mastery of time, and is more than likely due for retirement. Still, he worries and cares so much about his son that I don't think he's ready to give up the reins just yet. Still, that does introduce us to the characters, but doesn't really get us any closer to really getting a hold of that soul. So, while my son comes up here to get his drunk dad down to the bedroom, we are going to be going back to the storeroom and finally getting our first piece of the puzzle. Yeah, pretty much every character has made mention that my son is very, very, very close to the screwdriver that his father gave him. And you might have noticed while my son was working on that clock that there was a nearby toolbox. And maybe just due to his trusting nature or naivety, that's a word, you can pretty much rest assured that that screwdriver is indeed waiting for us in the toolbox. Now, with our little baby screwdriver here, we want to make sure and not get the attention of my son or the clockmaster just yet. Especially in the confined spaces of the bar on the upper floor. And instead of waiting around, or just meandering about, maybe seeing what some of the other guests are up to, we are going to take use of an item that is waiting for us in the Clockmaster's suite. It's an item that I think we could purchase from Gregory's store if we ever really felt the need, but we've been pretty lucky in our playthrough so far. And underneath all of these clocks here is that small present which holds for us a Fruit of Time. Now, Fruit of Time is a very, very unique item that has very particular usages, I would say. Pretty much what it does is that it will fast forward time by 2 hours. Though you want to be a little bit careful of that, as it not only fast forwards time, but accordingly it will also drain your mental gauge. So you want to be very careful when using it. But for now, we finally get our first introduction to a conscious, albeit not sober, Clock King.
What?
And much like his, as my son, he, though very boastful, is unexpectedly wanting to be very helpful. He even recognizes that, well, time isn't really flowing properly for us in Greg's Horror Hotel, and that it seems we are stuck in a bit of a time loop. He even offers us a way out if we wanted it, though well, we don't want out just yet. Still, for however helpful he is, we are sadly going to have to do something very, very stupid on our way to getting his soul. Probably not the best idea, but let's show him that screwdriver.
You stop right there! Isn't that my son's screwdriver? What? Turn it to my son at once!
And now it's time for the Great Escape. And it doesn't go great, or very well, or even, it goes badly, it goes terribly, because at this point, literally every guest we could run into, we will run into, and even though we don't see the Clockmaster right now, he's got a little bit of a surprise.
Turn it to my son at once!
That's right, he uses his very special time technique, time is money, to not only speed himself up, but also to teleport in front of us, which is why I made sure to use that speed up. Because not only is Evil Doll super, super quick. But yeah, Time Master will keep on teleporting after us and just getting faster and faster and closer and closer. And yeah, I wish there was some better strategy to doing this, but in all honesty, you just have to be lucky and find a good spot just to start running laps, I assume. I guess you could go down into the basement since that's a little bit less occupied, but after that third time is money, something unique will happen to the Clockmaster.
Time is money!
And we are not done just yet. Now that we have debilitated the Clockmaster, it's now time to finally go after that soul. And, well, we managed to keep getting lucky and luckier here, since my son is relatively unguarded.
Hey, that's my screwdriver, so you took it, huh? Give it back. Daddy, that kid took my screwdriver. Go teach the brat a lesson.
Give me my son. I can't go on. When I managed to stop time, my screw came loose, and now I can't move.
Daddy, what's wrong? Can I talk to you for a minute? Screwdriver is a present from my daddy. It's really, really important. If I don't have it, I won't be able to fix the clocks, and then I'll be in big trouble. Please, pretty please, give it back. I'll give you the soul in return. Just don't tell my daddy. Okay, then I'll just take the screwdriver.
And after a very harrowing chase, we finally get our sought-after prize of the Clockmaster's soul, and we can take a little bit of a breather. Keeping in mind, though, we probably don't want to linger in here for too long.
Hey!
For very good reason. But not only do we have a new soul in pocket, but we also have unlocked yet another new figurine. And it's of perennial favorite Judgment Boy. You can see all of his amazing animations, such as blabbering and being disoriented, and more blabbering, and obviously lots of spinning. Still, with our new soul in hand and another successful entity out of the way, it's time to call it a night. See you next time.
Come on now. Give it up. Throw away all them worries. Oh, it's you. Did you manage to pick up any souls? Oh, you only brought me one, huh? I take it? Hey, thanks a lot. Here, I'll stamp your card for you. Good luck there, buddy!